$1,200 ongoing monthly checks for the low income, and some shocking details. I have all the information and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to share with you the details of the $1,200 ongoing monthly checks, specifically focused on the low income that we've heard about so many times over the last year to year and a half. I want to talk about what they're now saying and the massive amount of money behind this actual program. Let's get into it as we have a lot to discuss right here in this video. First off, before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day to help you out in any way that I can, as well as keeping you informed of all of these changes as things are happening very fast. Also, as long as you're right down below the video, make sure to hit the like button and, of course, share this video with your friends, family, and social media so we can continue to help out as many people as we can right now during this very confusing and uncertain time we're currently living through. All right, thanks so much. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so, and let's get into it and talk about all the details as far as what is circling around out there in regards to these $1,200 ongoing monthly checks and the massive amount of money behind this type of program. First off, I would love to see your comments down below in the comment section. If you're interested in sharing, what do you think? What is your best guess as far as what this type of program would cost on an annualized basis, as in each and every year? How much you think something like this would actually cost? Throw your comments down below if you're interested in doing so. I will share with you those numbers here in just a second. It's a lot, okay? I can tell you that much. It's a lot, okay? A lot. Like way more than most of us would probably ever imagine. All right, so now, like I said, we've probably been hearing about this for a long time now. In fact, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel, you've heard me talk about this before in other videos. In fact, I've focused on this. I've made dedicated videos talking about this because this is a plan out of some lawmakers that are in Congress right here, right now, representing us in the House of Representatives. They are out there right now, and they want to start implementing these ongoing monthly checks for virtually pretty much everybody. Not everybody across the entire country, but a huge percentage of the population. In fact, about 85% of the population, in accordance with some other research that has been done out there, about 85% of the American population would be getting these, okay? So what they want to do is they want to essentially send out a $1,200 ongoing monthly check per adult per month, okay? Not just a one-time thing. This is a per month $1,200 ongoing monthly check for 5 years, okay? Again, a lot, okay? Let me break down all the details of this. Now, again, the legislation that is talking about this is called the Support Act. If you want to look it up, by all means, go for it. You can. It's out there. But that's what that is. And again, it is from some of these progressive representatives who are out there who want to implement these ongoing, essentially guaranteed basic income programs because of all the different things that have been going on out there, like automation and AI, artificial intelligence, essentially taking over and, eliminating a lot of jobs. But I can talk about all that in a separate video. All right, so let me break down the numbers behind this program because, again, it's going to be a lot of money in the event something like this were to happen. All right, here's what it comes down to. And again, I want to use some previous references here to talk about the percentage of the population that this may pertain to. All right, so let's take a step back into early 2021 for just a minute here. Remember the last $1,400 check that we got in early 2021, okay? The $1,400 stimulus check. That one went out to about 85% of the population. The income thresholds on that were $75,000 as an individual and $150,000 as a married couple. The same thresholds that would be implemented for these ongoing monthly checks of $1,200, $1,200 a month, okay? It would be the same exact income thresholds. 75 grand a year as an individual, 150 as a married couple, okay? Same. All right, so now that we know those $1,400 checks back in early 2021 went out to 85% of the population, we can probably anticipate that, if these checks were to go out right now, these ongoing $1,200 checks, if these were to be implemented immediately, it would probably go out to about 85% of the population across the country. Let me break the numbers down for you. Right now in the United States, the population is about 334 million people. 85% of that would be 283 million people, okay? Now let's run the math on that. Okay, on an ongoing monthly basis, let's just assume 283 million people. Multiplying that by $1,200 a month would be $339 billion. $339 billion a month. A month, okay? That's not per year, that is a month, okay? That's a ton of money, okay? To put it into perspective, the $1,400 checks that we got in early 2021 cost about $358 billion, okay? So a little bit more than this, right? So that's a lot of money, okay? Now think of this. These checks would cost, $339 billion a month for these beneficiaries and the people that would be eligible for this, okay? Now let's talk about this on an annualized basis. On an annualized basis, this would be $4 trillion a year. That's how much this program would cost, okay? $4 trillion a year. Remember, they want to do this for 5 years. $4 trillion a year times 5 years is $20 trillion over the course of 5 years. All right, now let me throw my opinion out here for a second. Now, generally, I don't like to throw my opinions into these videos because honestly, nobody cares. My opinion is just my opinion, right? Who cares? My opinion does not matter whatsoever at all. Nobody gives a rip. But let me just throw it out there really quickly, just a second here. What is the likelihood of something like this actually passing and them sending out $339 billion on a monthly basis, $4 trillion a year? My honest opinion would be not happening. There's no way that they would agree to that. However, let me say this much really quickly. Could I see them doing one of the following? Number one, shaving the dollar amount from $1,200, maybe down to say $500, $600. If they cut it down by half, say $600, that would cost, what is the math on that? $170 billion a month and about, what is that? $2 trillion a year, roughly, okay? So it'd cut it in half, okay? $2 trillion a year. That is still very high in my opinion. So again, let me just throw this out there really quickly. Just kind of talk through the details of this and kind of logically talk through this, okay? So one of a couple things that I could see happen in the event of this program. Number one, shaving the dollar amount probably in half or maybe even more than that. Maybe down to 600, maybe down to 500. Here's what I would probably see about this. I would see them shave down the income thresholds significantly from 75 grand as an individual, in my honest opinion, maybe something down to 30, 35, maybe 40,000 at most, and for a married couple the same, probably 60, maybe 70, maybe 80,000, something like that. That would also drastically bring those numbers down from say 283 million people who would be eligible, probably down to, 140 million, maybe cut it in half yet again, something along those lines. And again, that would still be a significant amount of money. Now, obviously I could run all the math on this stuff like this, but again, that'd be just a lot of numbers here for you. But I would not be shocked one bit. In the event of this program and in the event of them passing something like this through, don't get me wrong, I do absolutely think, I've been talking about this for a couple years now, I do absolutely think 100% there will be a nationwide guaranteed basic income program in this country at some point. I don't know if it's going to be a $1,200 ongoing check and if it's going to encompass 85% of the population. That's going to be a ton of money. And especially with all the inflation, everything that we dealt with here, basically from 2021, like the summer of 2021 until basically right now, it's still going on. And that was based on, say what, couple $100 billion, maybe a couple $1 trillion. This would be a massive surge in inflation as well if this were to happen. So that'd be my honest opinion on this thing. Now, again, I do 100% still believe that there will be a nationwide guaranteed basic income program in this country. However, I think the dollar amounts will probably be a lot smaller than $1,200 a month. And again, I think the pool of people that would be eligible for this would also probably be significantly less than 85% of the population. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if it was shaved down to something like, 40 million, maybe 50 million, maybe a little bit more than that people, okay? The reason for that is we know that right now there's about 39.7 million people living in poverty in the United States, okay? Well, those 39.7, virtually 40 million people, in my opinion, should be included no matter what, right? That should be an automatic, right? And then maybe some other people who are low income, things like that. Maybe not, technically below the federal poverty line. Maybe add another, 10, 20, 30, 40 million people on top of that. So maybe we're looking at anywhere between 60 and 80 million people. Again, shaving those numbers down significantly. And if we brought the number down as well, as far as the dollar amount, now we could probably bring this down to a dollar amount on a monthly basis that this thing would actually cost into something within the realm that Congress may actually agree upon versus, nearly $339 or $340 billion a month. That's just a huge amount of money that I couldn't foresee Congress passing on a monthly basis. When it comes down to individual checks, then yeah, there's a huge difference between one-time and one-off checks versus ongoing monthly checks. That kind of makes sense. Anyway, just want to break down the numbers for you here really quickly and show you what they're talking about, as well as the information about this, because this is massive stuff we're talking about here, right? Pretty shocking information. Anyway, want to bring this to your attention right away so you can clearly see the details on this. And again, I will continue watching this very closely as I get more information on this or anything else going on right now. Bills, packages, proposals, piece of legislation, announcements out of lawmakers or the administration. There's a lot of things like that. Changes to fixed income benefits. Of course, I'll bring it to your attention right away. So please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends from your social media. Go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one, and catch you again later.